Now at 10, parts of the area get too much rain with more on the way. Plus, the mother of a daughter murdered in 1999 finds her quest for justice blocked. And Ladies' Night in Miami, Oklahoma raises spirits and funds for a good cause.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Too much rain too quickly for parts of the area, and we should expect more for days. This is KOIM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, some people got 4, 5, 6 inches of rain earlier today. So we got a ton of rain, flash flooding. We need it. We don't need it all at once. Kept our temp down. 61, 72 is the average high. You can see at the airport in Joplin just shy of 2 inches of rain. We do still have flash flood warnings out in Vernon County over into Cedar County in southwestern Missouri. Now we have more showers starting to pop up northeastern parts of Oklahoma. But these are really going to increase late tonight into the morning hours. We're going to see the rain intensifying and also pretty widespread as well. The areas south of I-44 will get the heaviest rain out of this next batch, and they didn't get that much today. So that's good news for sure. Spotty showers, a few thunderstorms through the night, but once we get into the early morning hours, about 7, 8 a.m., a band of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be low-grade severe, so we got to keep our eyes on that and more severe weather in the forecast. We'll talk about it in just a bit.
See you soon. We're seeing flooding in a lot of low-lying areas in the 4 states. Those include parts of Jasper and Lawrence counties in southwest Missouri. There's a lot of water over Kafir Road west of Missouri 43. Drivers there and elsewhere need to be cautious. They might have to find alternate routes. The scene is similar in parts of southeast Kansas. This is video of northeast Star Valley Road in Cherokee County, Kansas, where the roadway has turned into a waterway. Crawford County, Kansas is also dealing with some flooding. The mother of a 1999 Welch, Oklahoma murder victim is advocating for justice, but it seems, at least for now, her push for reform is stalled. In 1999, Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman went missing, and Danny and Kathy Freeman were found dead. It wasn't until 2018 that a suspect, Ronnie Busick, was arrested in that case. Busick pleaded guilty to accessory to murder in the case and was sentenced to 10 years in prison with 5 years probation. However, after 2.5 years, Busick was released. KOIM's Anthony Saviello has reactions from the family on the bill stalling.
Lorraine Bible, Laura's mother, saw Busick's early release as an injustice and sought change through Laura and Ashley's law.
He was at the Freemans. He knew Danny and Kathy had been shot, the house set on fire. He watched them abduct the girls, bring them over here. He was part of this scene over here in this trailer where the girls were held. But, you know, there was no consequences other than a slap on the wrist, go in and spend 2 years, get your health good, and you're out back on the streets 20 miles from here.
The bill adds first and second degree accessory to murder to the list of crimes, mandating offenders to serve 85% of their prison sentence before being eligible for parole consideration. It passed the Oklahoma House in February, then passed the Senate Judiciary Committee on March 26th.
I knew that you could go to jail for 45 years and spend 85% of that time in jail because you were an accessory. Maybe you'd think twice. Or doing the part of the investigation, hey, here's the deal. If you talk and you help, you can get a lower sentence. If not, if you're straight up, Ronnie Busick wouldn't tell us nothing.
However, the bill was not heard on the Senate floor by its deadline, so it seems as though this is where the bill stops.
Now we're going to go back and look at the reform so that the wording is, we don't want people to be in prison longer than they need to be. But there's also, this isn't a slap on the wrist. This isn't somebody who went by and took $20 from you. This is somebody that watched people be murdered, girls be tortured, and did nothing.
Reporting in Ottawa County, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Lorraine Bible says she now has to refile for that bill to go through the whole process again. It was Ladies' Night at the Ace Hardware store in Miami, Oklahoma. The event gave women a chance to enjoy some food and drinks while shopping through a garden sale. It wasn't just for the store, though. All of the proceeds go to Children's Miracle Network, which helps cover medical costs for families with kids in the hospital.
just even being able to do this. So it's really a collaboration, right? We have a lot of partners. We have a lot of vendor partners. We have vendors here cooking, and we have vendors here sampling stuff and doing giveaways. We had all of our raffle prizes were donated by vendors. All of the things in our goodie bags were donated by vendors, right? So we actually have a lot of support in doing these events.
That's right. That event also included raffles and swag bags. McDonald County High School joined forces today with the national organization Meals of Hope to take up the fight against hunger. High school students, members of McDonald County FFA and Meals of Hope worked together to provide 25,000 meals for people facing food insecurity.
Next year, I'd probably get the advertisement out earlier so that they know that it is what it is. I would probably say maybe you know someone in need that maybe is hungry that night. This is to help them with it and just help other people that are in need.
This is the second year of that event. All the meals packed will be distributed to students, families, and food pantries in the area. The Skill Resource Center today hosted a customer and community appreciation picnic. The center supports independent living for people with disabilities, and the event provided a way to celebrate their clients and the community that supports them.
Do it every year, so my staff are just amazing, and they just kind of have it down to a fine art. They go out and they work with the community, and they find partners like, Palookas has donated the food, and they have the community health center here to be able to hand out information and to speak about the services that they have.
The Skill Resource Center is created by, driven by, and focused on people with disabilities, their families, and communities. A Joplin High School junior is going to spend the summer participating in an MIT program. Christian Kavanagh will engage in a prestigious opportunity available to only about 80 students in the entire world. It offers a 6-week residential experience aimed at introducing rising seniors to technology, engineering, and science in Boston.
Really taking this opportunity and getting accepted helps me know that my future in STEM is looking bright.
Knowing that he actually gets to go spend time there and work with people that are in his expertise, it is very, very rewarding.
Nearly 4,100 students applied this year, and academic record is one of the factors considered for acceptance. Kavanagh hopes the program is going to help him reach his goals, going to MIT for college and being a physics researcher. We wish him luck. The Gorillas get ready to kick off their annual spring game. Brock is going to have details of the gridiron event a little bit later in sports, but first, the U.S. Supreme Court takes up the argument of presidential immunity. The U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments today about whether former President Donald Trump should have immunity as he faces charges of interfering in the 2020 presidential election. But the justices were keenly aware that their decision will have an impact on presidential powers for decades to come. Natalie Brand has more.
Whatever we decide is going to apply to all future presidents.
The justices acknowledge their ruling will impact the future of the presidency and most immediately former President Donald Trump's federal election interference case.
There is no immunity that is in the Constitution unless this court creates it today.
If a president can be charged, put on trial, and imprisoned for his most controversial decisions as soon as he leaves office, that looming threat will distort the president's decision-making precisely when bold and fearless action is most needed.
The justices appeared skeptical of Trump's attorneys' arguments of broad immunity.
Wasn't the whole point that the president was not a monarch and the president was not supposed to be above the law?
But others on the high court suggested former presidents might have some immunity, questioning the difference between official and unofficial acts. The justices also focused on the precedent the case will set. They're faced with a question that's never been before the U.S. Supreme Court.
History tells us it's not going to stop. It's going to cycle back and be used against the current president or the next president and the next president and the next president after that.
I am concerned about future uses of the criminal law to target political opponents.
The former president in New York attending his criminal hush money trial weighed in on Thursday's arguments.
I hope it was made clear that The president has to have immunity.
Legal analysts say the Supreme Court's opinion could delay Trump's federal election trial until after the November election. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
The justices signaled they could send the dispute back to the lower courts for proceedings over whether Trump's alleged actions surrounding the 2020 election were taken in his capacity as an office seeker or office holder. A fifth suspect has been arrested in the killings of two Kansas women found buried in rural Oklahoma earlier this month. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation said 31-year-old Paul Grice was arrested and taken to jail. He faces 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and a count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Authorities say Grice admitted to taking part in the planning and killing of 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly. They say he also admitted to taking part in their burial in a cow pasture. 4 other suspects, including a married couple, have also each been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and other charges. A new report shows St. Louis is the 30th most polluted metropolitan area for high ozone days, meaning pollution in the air and near the ground. Things like factories, driving cars powered or gas-powered cars, they all contribute to the pollution. The American Lung Association says many environmental advocates have been asking the Environmental Protection Agency to be stronger and crack down on pollutants that factories emit. The association says they have their own recommendations for our area.
I think if we can strengthen our ozone requirements and the way that we enforce that in Missouri for the factories, any of the big polluters, and also emissions from vehicles. If we have better opportunities for electrification of vehicles, places people can charge, making it more accessible, and then on the larger side, making our power grid cleaner.
Last year, the St. Louis area saw the lowest number of high ozone days on record. A little bit later, the NFL draft gets underway in Detroit. Brock Baldridge has that story coming up in sport.
Plus, we have more thunderstorms rolling in for us late tonight. Details coming up.
This is home.
Well, of course, a rainy one for us today. Showers, thunderstorms. We did even have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings across the region, but our severe threat really goes up as we go through the next couple days. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, all the heavy rain we had earlier out of here, but look how it's starting to increase again across northeastern parts of Oklahoma. It's going to be very scattered for the next several hours, and then it'll kind of solidify into a line late tonight. But showers picking up northeastern parts of Oklahoma after all the heavy rain that we had earlier today, and then we had this complex. Areas south of I-44 didn't get much rain, but you will get the rain late tonight into tomorrow. You can see light amounts south of I-44, but these red stripes showing over 4 inches of rain. Severe weather out to the west for us tonight, and then we're going to watch thunderstorms get going in the panhandle of Texas, and those are going to scoot right toward us throughout the overnight hours. All right, so severe threats for Friday. We have 2 chances during the day. This is going to be a level 2 out of 5. I wouldn't be surprised if it jumps to a level 3 out of 5 for us tomorrow. But 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., low-grade storms. 4 to 9 p.m., only 1 or 2, maybe 3 storms will pop up, but we're going to have that hail, wind, tornado threat. So we're going to elevate all the threats for us tomorrow. So let's look at Friday, go through the night tonight, on and off showers, and then thunderstorms picking up late tonight. Here's 5:30 in the morning down toward Bartlesville, Nowata, heading in. Now some of these storms could be strong, low grade, severe, band of showers and thunderstorms through the morning. Here's about 8, 9 o'clock, then most of these out of here by noon. If they stick around a little longer, that lowers our severe chance in the afternoon, but it looks like these are going to get out of here pretty quick. Now we go to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to watch our front out to the west. And only about 1 or 2 guys you can see will try to pop up. And if they can pop up, they're going to have the chance to rotate. So we're going to watch this very closely late tomorrow afternoon and then into tomorrow evening. Then they move right on through and they're out of here. Then we have about 24 hours that we get to dry out until our next round rolls in. So let's move into Saturday. This is a level 3 out of 5 higher threat on the Kansas and Oklahoma side. 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. Sunday morning, we're going to elevate all the threats, and we're going to put heavy rain threat at high. And we're also going to have chances for all modes of severe weather again on Saturday. Now, most of the day is going to be dry, but let's jump into Saturday afternoon. Here we go. Look at these storms, 4 p.m. And again, these will have potential to rotate. Here they come, pushing in southeastern Kansas, right up the I-44 corridor. Very intense thunderstorms through the evening. And then we get another batch. This batch, which is going to be probably midnight-ish, will have the chance to have little spin-up tornadoes and very high wind gusts and very heavy amounts of rain lasting into Sunday morning. And then we'll see another break. And then Sunday afternoon is going to be very similar to what we see tomorrow. If we can clear out, we get thunderstorms again Sunday afternoon. So this is a lot to watch as we go through the next few days. Alert days, next 3 days, 74, 80 on Saturday, 74 on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, thunderstorms as well. We'll have a severe threat as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's going to be as soggy as a sponge out there.
I know. It's going to be
all
crazy.
said and done. Thanks, Doug. Joplin Police Department wants you to know about a bicycle safety fair. That fair is designed to bring safety awareness to families about cycling, being on the roadway, as well as learning about mechanical safety and routine bicycle maintenance. That fair will also feature numerous vendors, emergency vehicles, food trucks, and an obstacle course. That event is going to take place on May the 4th, Star Wars Day, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the parking lot of East Middle School. That's at 4594 East 20th Street. Mark your calendar. Coming up in sports, we're going to hear from the Pitt State football team ahead of their annual spring game. Plus, a lucky basketball fan makes the shot of a lifetime. Brock Baldridge has those stories and more coming up next.
The Pitt State football team wraps up their final spring practice of their annual spring game, which is being played tomorrow night at Kearney Smith Stadium. Early this morning, the Gorillas got to work in their indoor facility. Pitt State has held spring practices almost every day this past month. The players say they look forward for this opportunity to get on the field and even entertain some fans who plan on coming down to watch the game on Friday night.
This season, got a new offensive coaches, so it's been really exciting to get out here and learn the new offense and be with these new coaches, and I'm really excited how everything's coming together and really excited for tomorrow night.
During the spring, you kind of work out all the kinks and stuff like that, so it's really good. Instead of starting in fall camp, we get into spring and work out all the kinks.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs are on the clock, and tonight the Chiefs currently hold a 32nd overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. And there's been a lot of discussion this offseason on who the Chiefs to take in this year's draft. Well, here's how things stand at the moment. First 4 rounds, Kansas City presumably will make their selection late tonight. They hold on to the 32nd pick, and tomorrow the Chiefs will have pick number 64 and 95. And Saturday, they would have the 131st overall pick. However, there is a trade. We'll mention who the Chiefs take in the first round when we come back from break after this segment. Well, the Kansas City Royals wrap up their final game of the homestand against the Toronto Blue Jays. The Royals can take the 4-game series with Toronto with the win this afternoon. Royals versus Blue Jays. Starting off in the first inning, Salvador Perez hits this deep into the bullpen, and that ball is gone. It's a 2-run home run with Kansas City in front 2-0. In the second inning now, same score, Adam Frazier makes a diving catch there in left field. Cole Reagan says, "Thank you very much." We head to the top of the 5th. Royals lead 2-1, and this might be the catch of the year as Kyle Isbell lays out to make the catch on the warning track. An outstanding catch. Take a look again as Isbell, great focus there to reel that one in. From that moment on, well, the sky starts to open up. The rain continues through the night. And after a 4-hour rain delay, the umpires finally called the game. Royals only played for 5 innings, but that was enough to win this game 2-1. Well, how about this? In last night's Oklahoma City Thunder playoff game, a lucky fan is selected to make a shot of a lifetime, shooting all the way from half court, and he nails it. Walks away from last night's game with, get this, a $20,000 check. Man, can you believe that? Let's look for sports. We're back for more news after this.
Casino.
It's not often you hear about a birthday party at a library, or one for a cockatiel for that matter, and that's exactly what happened today, both at the Erie, Kansas Public Library. Bjorn the cockatiel celebrated his 20th birthday today, though the library says he could be anywhere between 20 and 25 years old. They don't know when Bjorn was Bjorn. He's become a staple at the library, alerting staff when someone arrives and playing with children who come in.
Well, for the most part, he loves little girls, and so as a general rule, he sings to them and he says "pretty bird." Boys, not so much. Little boys put their fingers in his cage, and he's not real thrilled about that. But for the most part, lots of times the kids come just to see the bird because he's different, you know, and he's been here forever. Most of them, he was been here when their parents were little kids. So, you know, I mean, he's a fixture in the community.
Attendees got to take part in some Bjorn-themed crafts. Be a nice attraction at a library.
Yeah.
The weather, it's going to be soggy for a few days.
It is. We're going to get more showers and thunderstorms in here later on tonight. Some of these could be low-grade severe, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that. But a bigger severe threat tomorrow afternoon, and we do have a tornado threat, so we want to keep our eyes to the sky, and then severe weather chances stick around into the weekend.
Yeah, we've been keeping an eye on the weather for you, and of course we're all Chiefs fans. It means we've also been keeping an eye on the draft for you. What's the news?
Let's not waste any time, because the fastest guy in the combine is now a Kansas City Chiefs. With the 28th overall pick, the Chiefs select Xavier Worthy out of the University of Texas. Wow, what a pick.
I think the fastest ever
Yes.
in the combine. Thanks for joining us. Morning Show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.